FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Get your good neighbor events to us in writing 2 weeks before they occur. We'll put them on the radio and the internet. WGNS, AM, FM, and online. Rutherford Issues with Brian Barrett on FM 101.9 and AM 1450 Murfreesboro, FM 100.5 Smyrna, and streaming at WGNSradio.com.
Rutherford Issues is powered by Middle Tennessee Electric. They have a solar energy expert there, and a supervisor for energy services to help members understand if solar is right for them and help members avoid scams out there, outside parties. So check it out online at mte.com/prosolar. It's time for us to catch up with our friends from Rutherford County Paws. Gracie Hill is here, and Maddie Bendur is here.
Hey.
Old habits.
It's fine. I'm the same way. People still call me Martin, and I'm like, yeah, that's me.
That works. Yeah, that works. But a big life change for you of
late.
late.
I got married.
Well, congratulations on that.
Thank you.
Oh, lucky fella. I hope he understands. You tell him every day that how lucky he is?
Oh, yeah. Everyone tells him.
Okay. That's good. That's good. Maddie, how are you?
I'm doing great.
Good. Good to have you here. We have got so much to talk about, but
we do.
Always like to start out by maybe giving us an explanation about Rutherford County Paws. What is Paws? Because I think maybe there's, you got in your mind an idea of what Paws is, but you're so much more than just a place for lost or abandoned animals.
Oh, yes. We do it all. We do animal care and control. We are a working partnership with the community, so we are trying to create a safe and healthy environment for not only our animals, but also our citizens. So we do education, adoptions, we enforce Tennessee codes related to animal control, all for Rutherford County.
Yeah.
So we do a lot of things.
And as we continue to grow, so does the need for Paws, and unfortunately, sometimes we have animals and strays, and we're going to talk a lot about kittens today. It's kitten season. I didn't know there was a thing, but Maddie's going to talk about that. But Gracie, at Paws, you have the very important job of making sure that people know the sweeties that you have adoptable, right?
Oh, yeah. That is the main thing that I do at Paws, is I post one pet a day. Now, if you look at the social media, you might wonder, why is she posting dogs? A lot of the time, you'll go to our Instagram page, and it's just dog, dog, dog. Mm-hmm. And people always ask me, they're like, why aren't you posting the cats? And to be honest with you, I focus on the dogs because the answer is they're constantly overlooked. We're always full of dogs, and cats and critters go so fast that if I post them, they're probably gone within 10 minutes of that. So it's very important that I hit on the dogs, especially with the shelter being so full right now.
Now, you said cats and critters. Are there some interesting critters sometimes?
We've got guinea pigs. We've got a bunny right now.
Wow.
Yeah.
They're super cute.
They are cute.
We've seen reptilians before. So we do get a huge variety there. Again, because we are animal control, it's not always your domestic. We always have our fun, furry little critters come around as well.
That's something that I hadn't thought about. But, yeah, I guess that would be important. So you get all of that out on social media for dogs. Are they harder to adoptable? I'm not phrasing that correctly, but are they harder for people to adopt for some reason?
You're absolutely correct. Okay. So when you think about the logistics behind adopting a dog versus a cat, a dog is more to care for, the cost of care for a dog. So when you're looking at, inflation and things like that, a lot of the times if people are looking for a pet in their home, they're going to go with the pet that they can more afford, and cats do take care of themselves more. Maddie mentioned that dogs are like little people, which I thought was very spot on. I mean, they need your attention. They need to be taken out. They need a feeding schedule, whereas cats, it's a lot more easier. They don't grow large. They take care of themselves. They feed themselves, clean themselves, and they don't need a lot of attention. I know my dog, she is all about the attention. And so when looking at that, that's why we do need to show dogs more love. For an example, if you live in an apartment or you're renting a home in Rutherford County, you do have specific pet guidelines. So, for example, 9 times out of 10, you'll see pit bulls are on that list of the no adopt, or German shepherds or huskies. And there at the shelter, we do find a lot of those breeds. So it is harder to adopt them out, especially when they're already given that bad reputation. So people tend to shy away from them in the first place.
Well, that's a shame, but I understand. Maybe you live in an apartment. A cat's a lot easier to care for, and not have to take them out. And probably a lot of places like that don't even allow animals, or maybe only cats or something like that.
Right.
So that's a good reason why, now that we kind of understand a little bit more, why pit bulls and German shepherds and some of those breeds. Is there? I know they get a bad rap sometimes, right?
So I think it's their stature and their size. I think large and extra large is always scary. Also, you have to think about past history, dog fighting. What do you see in dog fights? You see the pit bulls, you see the larger breeds. However, as a community, I think a thing at our paw shelter we always voice, it is not the breed, it is the animal itself, because that animal itself gets to choose the personality it wants to have. It is also us as people needing to be better for them, because also our training, our personality, and how we treat them is going to affect how that animal will have a personality and emotions in their life. So it's up to us and the animal, not because they're a pit bull, not because they're a husky, because also, yes, huskies, pit bulls, they can be big, bright, but so can a chihuahua. A chihuahua can just be as mean as a pit bull can be. So again, it's us as a community helping them, not because their breed puts a bad rep on them.
And those first, couple of years, especially for a dog, are very impressionary. I mean,
Very important.
They learn a lot during that time,
Exactly.
and really take on their personality. So you have dogs. How many? I mean, are we talking about like a shelter full?
Yes, we are full. We actually just got done with one of our events that we do quarterly, and unfortunately we had a full kennels, and then we had kennels in the back of adoptable dogs. They were all on our website, and when the event was over, we still were full. So although we are getting dogs adopted, we cannot adopt them out as quickly as they're coming in, with strays, owner surrenders, everything going on right now. It's been tough.
How I kind of put it is, so our adoptable full right now, I count it before we leave. I think we have 5 open kennels. Probably by the end of the day, those 5 open kennels are going to be taken by someone. It happens that quickly.
Yeah.
And with summertime and vacations and families out, maybe that's not, on the priority list right now to adopt or look for a forever friend?
Unfortunately, I do think so, but we always have to keep in mind, yes, the beaches and the ocean is great, but also finding that forever friend that's going to provide forever love to you, I always see as a more importance.
Well, can we maybe talk about, and we're visiting with our friends from Rutherford County Paws, Gracie Hill and Maddie Bendur, with us today. Can we talk about some of the residents who maybe have been there for a bit?
Oh, yeah. So our longest staying resident, his name is Travis. He's been there since April. He's one of those that did come in as a stray to us. He's about 4 years old. He's an American Bulldog mix. He is a really, really good dog, and we don't understand why he keeps getting overlooked, just because he is truly that dog that wants to spend good quality time with you, and he's very well
great boy.
He's a big boy, I would say, being a Bulldog mix, right?
And I think that's his
maybe
issue,
that part of it.
is people look at his stature and they get insecure with that. A big thing is you have to see them outside of their kennel, because that's the true dog in form. I've never met more of an intelligent dog than Travis. He has picked up on his learning. He knows sit, down, and has learned shake. He wants the will to learn, but he needs that person that's willing to give it back. So they're willing to take the time with him, to show him love, to give him affection, to go on runs with him. He's waiting to find that person.
Yeah. This does he like to be around people, that kind of thing too?
People pleaser is his name. He loves cuddles. He loves kisses. He'll be all over you if you'll let him be.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess with any of the animals that are in the at Paws, they are they've been spayed, neutered, and vaccines and all that kind of stuff.
Yes, absolutely. All of them come up to date on their vaccines. We have our free spay and neuter program for Rutherford County residents, so all of our adoptable pets have already been fixed, so they are all ready to go. We even do have a partnership with Hill Science, and they even go home with a free bag of food at the adoption.
Well, that's very helpful as well. Well, Maddie, you said that it is kitten season. So what does that mean?
The kittens have been having a hoorah at our shelter is what it means. So kind of how we describe kitten season at our shelter is, kitten season is where during May to August, so our warmer seasons, mothers tend to mate more. So what this means is more kittens become populated in our warmer seasons. Also going into, unfortunately, what this stands for is a lot of kittens or litters end up homeless. Their mom wanders away, unfortunately, as a stray. Accidents happen, so she has passed, and this is where our unmothered neonatal kittens come in, and we get a big intake of kind of homeless, abandoned kittens.
Oh, okay. Now, cats have kittens pretty quickly after, right? After the mating process.
Yes.
So
yes.
Is it a short period, a few months?
I would say I can't estimate, but I could get word back to you about the correct estimation. But I would say it's a few months.
Yeah.
But then after that, I think after quickly they can have another.
Well, that's what I was going to say. They can have multiple litters in a year.
Yes.
Really. Okay. With that, and so just let's take that scenario. Mom, something's happened. You have all these kittens. I mean, that's a lot of work for someone.
Yes. Yes, it is a lot of work for us. Something we kind of wanted to integrate is also how to help when you think you have found a stray kit or kittens, what we can do as a community first, because something I feel like as a community we don't always keep in mind is just because we see a litter doesn't mean the mom is completely gone. We do need to keep in mind that she could be hunting for food or even deciding to relocate to a safer area. So she's also taking those kittens one by one to a safer area. So as hard as it can be, sometimes we don't want to immediately pick the litter or kitten up that we do find. We more of want to keep an eye and a watch. So helpful tips for that is, first, go ahead and call your community shelter. Do let us be aware that there is a kitten or kittens being seen and shown with no mother. Another great thing is, while you're keeping an eye on them, place a ring of flour around their little nests, because then we can watch foot tracks. So we can see if a mom is appearing, because we'll see her little paw prints in the flour.
Like baking flour.
Exactly.
Okay,
Yep.
yeah.
Exactly. So placing that around the nest. Now, if 24 hours does go by, you're watching that nest and no mom is appearing, definitely communicate with your shelter, because then they'll be open to schedule up an appointment and get that kitten or kittens in. And so then another important thing comes, we can be prepared for fostering, because especially when neonatal animals are coming in without their mom, they need those fosters to be able to be prepared for bottle feeding, keeping warm, checking temperature, and having available spacing for them at their home.
So let's talk a little bit about that. I'm sure you can always use foster parents here.
We always are needing foster parents. Again, kind of going how we talked last time, our program's still very new and still very building. So as I would say is, we don't have as many fosters as we need as a shelter. We're always open to more fosters. A great thing too is no experience is needed. We'll sit here and guide you on bottle feeding, defecating for the animal, how to check their warmth, how to make sure they're staying a good temperature. We also, as much as we can, provide for our fosters. So we're providing them the food, the wet food, the milk, the bottles, temperature, scales, everything. We want to start them up so that they can succeed in their fostering experience.
And you mentioned that, cats really go out of the shelter very quickly, but there's always such a need because of the active breeding season, I guess.
Exactly.
Yeah.
As we get adopted out one, or they go to our rescue partners, probably 2 hours later, we're receiving a whole new litter.
Yeah.
So it's been back to back. At a time, our kennels in the back were just kittens.
Yeah.
Each kennel had a kitten or kittens in it.
And let me reiterate, just because you don't see an adoptable, all of our cats, just because there's not a lot for adoption doesn't mean there's not, 20 in the back that we're, needing
Caring
fosters for, caring for, getting them ready to be adopted. And then when they are available, they go so quick. But we're constantly caring for kittens in the back. Even though it doesn't seem like we have any kittens available.
Okay. Well, that's good to know.
Yeah.
Before our time gets away, you've got an event coming up in just right after the 4th of July, right?
Yeah. So it is the Bissell Pet Foundation's Empty the Shelters event. It is their summer event. It is a month-long event in July, the 6th through the 31st. So over 335 organizations across the country are partnering. It's quite frankly one of the best events we do. You get a free microchip. All of the fees are waived, which is really awesome. So it's helped quite a bit of pets.
It has.
Yeah.
It's been a good turnout for us each year we have it.
Yeah.
So it's yearly. I mean, you have some of the different partners come alongside and,
Oh, yeah.
and help with that. So that is nice to have. So, and the microchipping, that's a huge deal as well. And July 6th through the 31st. So pretty much the month of July with the exception of the first few days.
Yep.
Very
We
good.
hope to see you there.
So do you just drop in? Is that?
Yeah.
Drop in, say hi, find a forever friend. Simple and easy.
Wow. How about that? That is good stuff to know. Gracie, you mentioned that you put out your adoptable animals on social media pretty frequently. Where can we find Paws?
So social media, we have Instagram and Facebook. If you want to check us out, just look up at Rutherford County Paws. And then if you want to find out any more information about volunteering, fostering, to view our adoptable pets, you just head on over to paws.rutherfordcountytn.gov. That is our website. You will find anything and everything you need to know, and also the link to sign up to foster.
All right. A lot of information that we passed along today, so I'd encourage you to check the website, see all of those fur babies that are there, and let's all do our part and help empty the shelter. That'd be nice, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Well, very good. Thank you both for coming in today, and again, congrats on the wedding and all of that, and much success to the both of you for that. We've been visiting with our friends from Rutherford County Paws, Gracie Hill and Maddie Bendur joining us today. And if you missed part of the program now, check back on the podcast at WGNSradio.com. Wherever you listen to audio, whether it's Amazon, iHeart, all of those places, you can find our podcast, and on YouTube at News Radio WGNS. Have a good day, everybody.
Greetings, friends. This is Lenny Farmer with the Jennings and Ayers Funeral Home in Murfreesboro.